In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this pattern paper using the iDesign pattern shapes. And let me just show you those real quick. Okay, so these shapes come in several different patterns, and you can mix and match them and use them and layer them on top of one another to create really unique pattern paper to fill your iDesign shapes with. I ended up filling a letter with mine, and I drew some stitching around it. I hand drew the stitching, and as you can see, I filled the font with the pattern paper that I made, and then I hand stitched. I kind of rushed drawing those, but I could have taken my time on that. And then I also added a drop shadow to the font as well. Now let me close this out so my screen is bigger here. The two patterns that I used to create this paper were the gingham, and the gingham is actually made up of 3 layers. You have your vertical lines, and then your horizontal lines is another layer, and then there is a solid background. So you could even change that color as well, which I did not do. And then I also used the dots. So what I did was I filled the dots with glitter, and then I filled these gingham lines with crushed paper. So I'll show you those real quick now. So let me go to my photos, and let's see, albums, all albums. And then this pattern package is called Paper Crush, and this is the color that I used to create that pattern. Let me just show you real quick what I filled the dots with. And I used this one right here. And then of course I zoomed it in on the dot so that it would really show like it was glitter. So let's go back over there and take a closer look at that now that I've broken it down and you have an idea how I made this. And here's my paper. Let's zoom in on that paper really close. And now you can see my crushed paper in the background. So I filled the vertical lines with the crushed paper, and then I filled the horizontal lines. And so what happens is the horizontal is overlapping here, and that's why you see the darker blue there. So that just makes up that gingham look. And then, like I said, over the top, I filled the dots with glitter and overlaid it on top. And of course there's no background on these dots, so I just overlaid it, and that's what made this beautiful blue paper. So let me just show you how I did that exactly so that you can step by step follow along. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and add a blank canvas. It's actually called a slide inside Keynote, and that's what I'm using. I'm inside Keynote. And I'm going to go ahead and get that pattern. So I'll just tap on it, and the layers are grouped. So if I just tap on it and then copy, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste it over here. And the reason that I'm doing that is so that all of my original designs that I have set up here in my master, as you can see, I have them all in one file so that I could just scroll through here and find what I'm looking for. But I copy and paste from here onto another file so that I don't disturb any of my masters. All right, so now that I have that copied, I'm going to go ahead and add another design space. And now I want to copy the dots. So I'll go ahead and copy them over. And now I don't need my master open anymore. And I'm just going to make this as wide or as tall as my design space. And let me go ahead and do the same with my gingham. So now I'm going to, in order to ungroup the layers, which I'm not going to ungroup them, but I'm going to double tap to isolate the layers. So let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see really close. You can see I've grabbed or isolated all the horizontal, and you can tell because this is cut off here at the bottom. So that's how I know that I actually have that layer isolated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the paintbrush, and I'm going to choose image, and then I want to replace the image, and I'm going to go to my camera roll because I know that those albums I already have stocked inside my camera roll. So I'll go to all albums, and then I'm going to choose my paper crush. And let's just change it up with a different color this time. Let me go ahead and make green. So now that's filled with green, and as you can see, it's only the horizontal lines that's filled with the green. So now I want to fill the verticals. So I'm going to go ahead and double tap down here to grab the vertical, and then I'll go ahead and hit the paintbrush, replace, go back to my camera roll, and go back to paper crush, and I'm going to choose that same paper. And now you can see I've got this crushed looking paper that has almost three-dimensional look to it. And so that's basically all done. So now what I want to do is I want to go and fill my dots with some glitter. So let's see what color we can find to fill these dots with. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my albums and scroll down. Fine. I've got two different, let's see, I've got gilded, I've got bling. Let's see what colors are in here in the bling. I do have a green one in the bling. I'm not sure how well that's going to match. Maybe I'll go ahead and try this gray because I'm afraid the green is going to be off as far as it being two different greens. So I'm going to go ahead and use the gray. Maybe the gray will work. I could always change it. All right, so now that's filled with the glitter, only you can't hardly tell it's glitter. So what I want to do is double tap, and when I double tap, I have the option to stretch that glitter that's filling these dots. And I guess I'll move it maybe almost halfway and then click done. And that looks to me a little bit more like glitter. All right, let's see how it looks on top of our paper now. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on my drawing space somewhere away from the design, and then select objects, and then select all, and then done. And now let's see if I made the right choice. I may have to go back and redo this. Paste. Okay, that looks pretty good. I can tell that it's glitter. It looks like glitter. I just want to make sure it's centered up really good on my page, and it is. It looks fine. So now I want to save this to my camera roll, and I think I want to, I see that the top is cut off a little bit here and the bottom, but I'm going to crop that when I get it over to my camera roll. So this will work just fine. And since it's going to be one solid square, I don't need to worry about erasing the background or making the background transparent or anything like that. So I'm just going to save this one slide to my camera roll. And to do that, I am going to go ahead and tap on these three dots right here. And then I'm going to hit export. And I want to export as an image. And I'm going to save it as a PNG because that's the best quality. And I want to isolate that one slide, otherwise it's going to save every single one of these slides as an image in my camera roll. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on slide range, and it's slide number 9. And when that's done, I'm going to go ahead and tap on image options again, and I'm ready to export it. And this is just warning me that some of my fonts are missing. That's no problem. I'm not using any fonts right now, so I'll go ahead and continue. And then I'm going to save the image, and that's going to put it in my camera roll. So now I want to go to my camera roll and crop that. And you're probably not going to be able to see that because for some reason when I am filming my iPad, if I tap on an image, it shows it on the screen in full screen, and it's not showing it on my iPad in full screen, but it's going to show it in full screen on what you're viewing. And there's my image. Oh, well, it shows it sort of, but it scrunches it up. It's not showing that on my iPad that it's scrunched up, but for some reason this is showing it that way here. So I'm going to, and you can't see my options either, but up here I'm going to hit edit, and once you tap this crop icon here, now you've got handles to crop. So I'm going to go ahead and crop to the edge. And you can use this paper now over and over and over again. You've got a ready-made pattern to fill your shapes, any fonts you want to fill, anything. So it's well worth the effort because you have it to use over and over again. Okay, I'm all done. I'm going to hit done. All right, now let's go back over to Keynote and find us a letter. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get a clean artboard or slide, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some text. And for that I hit the plus, and then I'm going to hit the shapes tool, and why they hide it inside the shapes tool I will never know. There's my font or my text, and let's see, let's do another letter this time. Let me do an L, and then of course I need it bigger and I need to use a different font. So now that I've got it highlighted, and I did that by double tapping, I'm going to go back to my paintbrush, and the first thing I want to do is swipe through with my pencil. I want this to be bigger, and so I'm going to make it, let's see, I think I did the other one, 2000. There, now we're nice and big as my board. So now I want to change my font. I'm going to get something really cool. I think the one that I used before is this, Hey Elsie. Hey Elsie Cute. Let's use this one this time. I've used that one several times and I really like it. Or wait, this one. Oh yeah, that's going to be really neat. All right, so now we've got our font all set. Now we want to go ahead and fill it with our pattern. So now I'm going to hit text color, and I'm going to choose image and then change image, and that's going to go ahead and let me go to the camera roll. I'm going to choose a photo, and there's my paper right there, and there it filled my paper. One other thing I want to do while I'm here is I'm going to go to style, and I'm going to add a drop shadow, and I'm going to choose this second one. All right, so now we're all done. Check it out, there's my L. All right, so this part I'm not going to make you sit through, but at this point now I can go ahead and do my stitching. And I can do green or white or black or gray, just whatever color I want to do. And to do that, I'll go ahead and hit this plus sign, select my image icon, and then scroll down here to drawing, and you will find it under the image icon. So let's just tap drawing, and I already have white selected, so let me go ahead and just start drawing white dashes. And like I said, I'm not going to make you sit through it, but just to get an idea, I did some stitching. If you want, you can bring it into Procreate, and then you have a little bit more control, I think, with your ink and your brushes. You can choose your brushes. You can get a thinner brush, which you can do that here in Keynote as well. So let's just pretend I went ahead and I did all my stitching. So now I'm going to tap somewhere outside here on my drawing space or my drawing board. Now I'm going to select objects. Select all. All right, I selected all. Now I'm going to hit done, and now I'm going to copy. And let's go over to my GoodNotes. And as you can see, I've been playing already with some of these. Let's see, I want to delete that test one. And I'm going to keep this one, but I want to resize it. And I'm going to go ahead and paste. And naturally, I'm going to have to crop it. And the reason it's this weird shape is because of the drop shadow that I added. So for some reason, Keynote just stretches the actual design when you add a drop shadow. So all I have to do now is here in GoodNotes, hit crop, and I can go ahead and crop that down. And I don't want to crop it too tight because I don't want my drop shadow to be cut off at all. All right, here we go. And what's neat about this font, let me just get away. What's neat about this font is that the holes in it are transparent. So isn't that cool? All right, let's see. Let me go ahead and copy this. We'll actually spell a word. Copy. Let me go ahead and paste, and we'll make the word all. All right, guys. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will make lots of cool letters to add to your sticker stash. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and like it because it really helps my channel. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be notified when I have more cool iStuff to share with you. Until the next video, have an outstanding day. Bye.